this computer. Yeah, brilliant. So I was just saying, for those of you who missed it, a friend of mine, Heidi, is doing her yoga teacher training. So she's coming along to kind of watch a yoga class, and that's why I'm filming it for her. Lovely. So if you've got a block at home, I'm going to be using a block this evening, but if you don't have a block, you don't need it. So don't stress if you don't have one, but we will be using a block. So I'm going to invite you to sit in a cross-legged position or to sit into hero. So whichever one you're most comfortable with. So hero, we sit onto the backs of our heels, or you can sit cross-legged. And if you're sitting cross-legged and you feel your knees are quite high, you can sit on your block, and that helps elevate your hips and lowers the knees. Lovely. So if I can get you all sitting nice and comfortably. Excellent. Now just coming forward onto your seat bones. So wriggle so that you're sitting onto your seat bones, and that helps get the spine nice and straight. And then I'm going to get you to squeeze your shoulder blades together and then run them down your back as if you're trying to tuck them into your waistband. Fantastic. Rest in the backs of your hands on your knees, palms facing upwards. So we're going to start with a meditation. So we're going to do our Sa Ta Na Ma meditation. So as you do it, I'll just come close and show you. So as we repeat the mantra, we're going to say Sa Ta Na Ma. Sa Ta Na Ma. And we're going to do that on both hands. So the reason we do this is just to switch the mind off. So it just encourages the mind to switch off. If you've been rushing around, you've had a busy day, it's a really lovely way to just switch the mind off and bring yourself into the present. So sitting up nice and tall. You can close your eyes for this if you want. And you're just focusing on the vibrations. So we're going to say it a few times, then I'm going to go quiet, but keep repeating it in your head. So take a deep breath in, and we start. Sa Ta Na Ma. 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 So keep repeating it in your head. And then deep inhale and exhaling. Softly open your eyes. Hello, Martin. We've just started. You haven't missed it. So bring your right hand to rest on your heart and left hand rests on top of your right. Taking 2 deep breaths here. So deep inhale through your nose and a nice slow exhalation. So inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath. Exhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more time. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. Exhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then allow the breath to come back to its regular rhythm, regular pattern. So when we extend our exhalation, we tend to kick the body into the parasympathetic nervous system, which is our rest and digest, which is kind of where we want to be most of the day. So taking a deep breath in, Inhale, take the left hand out, palm faces upwards. Keep the right hand at your heart. And then lower the right hand down onto the mat and stretch over to the right, stretching the side of the body. And then exhale, place the left hand on the mat, rotate the right hand so that the palm faces upwards and reach across. So keep the chest lifting so that you feel this stretch in the side of the body. And then coming back to the center. Placing the fingertips onto the mat, grow nice and tall. So again, shoot those shoulder blades down the back. Take your right hand and place it behind you. Left hand on the outside of the right knee. Grow nice and tall to start with. Deep breath in. As you exhale, draw the belly button back towards the spine and turn to look over your right shoulder. And then come back to the center. Left hand comes across the outside of that left leg. Left hand goes behind. Sit up nice and tall. So nice and tall to start with. Deep breath in. And as you exhale, turn to look over that left shoulder, using that right hand to help draw and see if you can get a bit deeper into that twist. And come back to the front. Excellent. Sitting up nice and tall. Place the fingertips on the shoulders and draw nice big circles with the elbows. So 3 times in one direction and then 3 times in the reverse. And then place the hands back down. Inhale, take the shoulders up to the ears and exhale, shoot them down. Lovely. Final one, keeping your eyes closed. Imagine that the tip of your nose is a pencil and slowly start to draw circles. So start really small and then slowly start to widen your circle, paying attention to anywhere where there might feel a bit crunchy, there might be tension. Go backwards and forwards. We just want to make our circle as wide as possible. And then once you've gone as wide as you can, slowly retracing your steps. So you want to end up back to that dot that you started. Excellent. And then coming into tabletop. So you're going to come onto your hands and knees. So hands are underneath your shoulders, knees are underneath your hips, toes are tucked under. So taking our tabletop position, just going to tuck my top in so you can see what my spine's doing. So we're just going to start by just rocking backwards and forwards. So whatever feels good. And then we're going to turn so that our thumb is pointing to the top of the mat this time. Spread your fingers nice and wide and just rock side to side, backwards and forwards. Really spreading your fingers. So this is preparing us for down dog later. So really spread your fingers and really push your fingers into the mat. And then see, without forcing, see if you can turn your fingers so that they point towards your knees so that your wrists are pointed to the top of the mat. Again, see how far you can go without forcing or pushing too much. And then from here, we're just going to rock gently backwards and forwards. So this is a really great way if you've been at a desk all day, if you've been driving, if you've been typing on the computer, this is a really good way to just open up the wrists. And then coming back to our starting point. So we're going to take cat-cow. So when you're ready, exhale to cat-cow. So exhale to cat. So we're going to take our chin to our chest and tuck our tailbone under, creating space between the shoulder blades. Inhale, lift up to cow. Draw the shoulder blades down the back. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, chin to chest. Create space between the shoulder blades. Inhale, lifting up, draw those shoulder blades down the back as you dip the spine. One more time, top the tailbone, chin to chest. Really draw that belly button towards your spine, really creating that space between the shoulder blades. And then point your toes and sit your bum back towards your heels, dropping your forehead onto the mat, stretch the hands out, child's pose. Breathe in deeply, so deep inhale through the nose, deep exhale. Try and breathe in and out through the nose as that helps keep the heat within the body. So when you're ready, inhale, looking up, and slowly come, keep your hands exactly where they are, and slowly come in onto your knees. Tuck your toes under, and start to lift the knees off the mat. Keep the knees bent, and start to take your chest towards your thighs. Keep looking towards your navel, and then start to straighten the legs as best you can. So it's quite nice here. Start working your heels towards the mat, looking towards your navel. It's quite nice sometimes to bend the right knee, stretch the left knee, then straighten the right knee, bend the left. So you can do it slow or you can pedal, whatever feels good for you. And then we're going to come into a plank. So your hands, your wrists are underneath your elbows. So we're working, lots going on here. We're working the legs, we're working the glutes, we're working the abs, and we're also working the upper body. If this feels too much, you've got the option to drop your knees down onto the mat. Brilliant. And then we're going to push back into down dog. So looking towards your navel, remember to spread those fingers, pushing your palms into the mat. Inhale, look up and step the right leg between the hands. If that doesn't come easy, you might need to give the leg a bit of a hand. And then push the left hand into the mat and take the right hand up, look into the thumb. Remember, you've got the option, you can always drop that left knee onto the mat if it feels too much. And then bring that right hand back down, step that leg back, coming into down dog. Look up, step the left leg between the hands. And again, you've got the option to drop that right knee down if you need to. Push that right palm into the mat and float the left hand up as we look to the thumb. And exhale, hand comes down, step that leg back and coming into your down dog. And then from here, we're going to walk the feet up the mat. Once you get the feet to the hands, exhale, let the head go. Just shaking the head out slightly, releasing any thoughts left from your day. Push your heels into the mat as you slowly start to come up. So nice and slow. Stacking your shoulders on top of your spine. Looking forward, standing in mountain pose, Samastiti. Brilliant. Breathing in and out. So that's the great thing about yoga. It's all about moving with the breath. Excellent. That looks great, everybody. So we're going to stand. Push the balls of your feet and your heels into the mat. Bring your hands onto your heels, looking forward. Float the right leg up. And then we're going to step the right leg back. So step it as far back as you feel comfortable. Couple of options. So you can place the foot fully on the mat. Your toes are about a 45-degree angle. Hands onto your hips. Make sure that your hip bones are pointing forward. So they were flashlights that won't be pointing straight. If that feels too much on your knee, you can come onto the ball of your right foot. So keeping your hands onto your hips, and then inhale, sweep the hands up, palms are parallel, and you can look up slightly. Breathe in deeply. Everyone push your weight into that back leg, and just check that on your left leg, your knee is tracking the second toe. Excellent. And then exhale, right hand goes behind, left hand goes in front, and look over your left second finger. So we're warrior 2. So if you were on the ball of the foot, that back foot is now fully on the mat. Again, everybody push your weight into the back leg. Tendency is to let the front leg take all the weight. And you don't want that. You want the weight evenly balanced. Again, if you're struggling with balance, you can take your legs slightly wider. Excellent. Brilliant. Then we're going to straighten the legs and rotate the palms so that the palms face forwards. So we're going to come into triangle. You can probably bring that back foot forwards a bit if you feel your stance is too wide. So stretching to the left to begin with, and then we drop down. So a couple of options here. So you want to keep the chest nice and open, right hand towards the ceiling. If you've got your block, you can place your hand on your block. So the key with this posture isn't to reach to get that left hand to the mat. It's to keep the side of the body open. If you're looking to your right thumb and your neck doesn't feel comfortable, look down at the left toes. Excellent. Brilliant. And then place a bend on that left leg as you slowly come up. So we're going to come into crescent lunge. So right hand goes on the back of that right leg. Rotate your left hand so palm is facing off. And exhale, coming into crescent lunge. And then from here, we're going to place that left hand on your left knee. Coming into side angle. Brilliant. So the right hand is pointing away from you, but turn so that your little fingers pointing towards the mat. And you're looking as if you're looking at your armpit. Excellent. Brilliant. And then from here, we're going to come up into warrior 1 again, but this time we're going to pivot on that back foot. Bring your hands into prayer position and twist. So this is our reverse side angle. Excellent. I'm just watching what everyone's doing. Brilliant. And then slowly coming up and turn so that your feet are parallel. So you're facing the side of the mat. Excellent. Bring your hands onto your hips. Squeeze your elbows together as if you've got a beach ball. Lift your chest. Push the balls of your feet and outer edges of the feet into the mat as you slowly fold forward. Keep that beach ball, keep squeezing that beach ball as you lower down. And then drop the head down, let the head go. And then release the hands. And if the hands don't reach, that's fine. If the hands don't reach the mat, that's absolutely fine. If they do, place the palms on the mat and walk the hands back so that the fingertips and toes are in alignment. And then pushing the balls of the feet into the mat, bring the hands back onto the hips and slowly coming back up. Excellent. And then we're going to turn to face the front of the mat again and just walk the back foot in a little bit. So you want your feet about 3 of your feet apart. A couple of options with the legs. So if you've got a line on your mat, you can line your feet up. Or if you're struggling a bit with balance, you can take your feet either side. Imagine if there's a line going through your mat, you take your feet either side of the line, and that helps with balance. Bring your hands back onto your hips, and you almost want to try and get your hips pointing forwards, as if you're trying to get your inner thighs to touch. Bring your hands into reverse prayer. So a couple of options, reverse prayer, or opposite hand, opposite elbow. Shoulder blades run down the back. And then we're going to fold forward, taking your forehead towards that left knee. And really pushing that left heel into the mat and making sure that the back leg is also present on the mat. So really feeling your feet. From here, inhale, push the feet slowly coming up. And then step that right leg forward, releasing the hands. Standing in mountain pose, Samastiti. Brilliant. Excellent. Bring your hands back onto your hips. Float the left leg off. So I'm going to turn so that you can see me. So I'm going to stand, everybody stay as you are. I'm just for the purpose of you being able to see me unless I have my back to you. So left leg is going to float off and then step the left leg back. So we're going to do the same on the opposite side. So again, whichever way your feet are more comfortable, either fully on the mat or pivoting onto the ball of your foot. Hips are pointing forward. Keep drawing that belly button up and back. Sweep the hands up, drop the shoulder blades down the back, looking up slightly. Remember to push the weight into the back leg so that weight is evenly distributed between the legs. Breathe in deeply, feel that heat rising. Maybe reach for the skies. Brilliant, excellent. And then left hand goes behind, right hand in front. Turn to look over your second finger on your right hand. Remember to check that front knee and check that it's tracking, so it's in line with your second toe. Pushing the weight into the back leg, Shavita. That's better. And really pulling up. You want to kind of really pulling up for the front, tucking your tailbone on that, really lifting up. Brilliant. Rotate your palms so that your palms face forward. Straighten that right leg. Stretching out and then dropping down, coming into our triangle. So remember, this is all about keeping the chest open. It's not about getting that right hand to the mat. We're keeping the chest nice and open, and you've got your block if you need it. Brilliant. Keep pushing that right heel into the mat. Keep reaching. Remember, if the neck feels uncomfortable, turn and look over your right toes. Excellent. Push your right heel into the mat as you slowly come up. So we're going to do crescent lunge. So left hand goes behind, right hand palm turns up, and we sweep the palm up and look to the sky. And then exhale, right hand to right knee, coming into our side angle. And don't let your weight drop into that right heel. So that right hand is lightly placed. I can lift it up without changing my position. Brilliant. And you're looking towards your armpit, feeling that lovely stretch through the side of the body. And then inhale, coming up. Bring your hands to prayer position, coming into warrior one briefly and rotating to the opposite side. Taking that left shoulder down. Excellent. So you can take a bind here if you feel comfortable. If not, stay as you are. Brilliant. And then push that right heel into the mat as you slowly come up. Excellent. And then we're going to turn so that feet are parallel. This time we're going to interlace the hands behind us, squeezing the shoulder blades together as we exhale and fold forwards. And then let the head go. Once you've let the head go, to slowly start to take the hands away from the back, lifting them up. So you really get that stretch across the front. So keep the bind, the picker, you've still got the bind. Lovely. And then push your heel, that's it. And then taking your hands away from you, brilliant. And then push your heels into the mat as you slowly start to come up. And then turning so you're facing the front of the mat and your right leg's in front this time. I've moved around, so just make sure that your right leg's in front. And again, taking the legs wider if you're going to struggle with balance. If you fancy more of a challenge, you can bring your legs in line with each other. I'm taking my legs wider, hands onto hips. I'm bringing your inner thighs together, hip bones are pointing forward. And again, reverse prayer or opposite hand, opposite elbow. Inhale, grow tall, exhale, forehead towards the right knee. Pushing the heels into the mat. And then push the right heel in as you slowly start to come up. And then stepping forward. Samastiti. Hands at the side, standing nice and tall. Fantastic. So again, to take our tree. So when you're ready, hands onto hips and slowly float the right leg up and then turn the knee out to the side. And remember, you can place the sole of the right foot at the ankle, the calf, or the thigh, keeping it away from the knee. Bring the hands into prayer position. And if you're very comfortable, you can float the hands up. So we've all pretty much mastered tree. So we're going to add an extra challenge this evening because you guys do trees so effortlessly now. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring our hands back down onto our hips. And without letting that right foot touch the ground, we're going to bring it behind us. So if I turn to the side, so kicking it behind us. And then right hand comes to the ankle and you take a hold of the inside of the ankle. Yeah. And then your left hand goes into Chin Mudra. So Chin Mudra is thumb and first finger, and then the other three fingers are in alignment. So this is a really good mudra for concentration. Taking the hand up, and then we can stay here, or if you're very comfortable, you can start to go forward, kicking the leg back, taking the hand out in front. And then slowly coming back. And release the leg down. Brilliant, well done everyone. So opposite side, hands onto hips. When you're ready, left leg floats up, light as a feather. So really pushing that right heel into the mat to get that right leg straight. Left knee turns out. And again, you can place it at the ankle, calf or thigh. Hands come to prayer position, resting your thumbs at your heart. Concentrate. Hands float up if you're comfortable. So these balancing poses in yoga, they're all about just calming the mind. The mind benefits from stillness, the body benefits from movement. So this is a great way to get out of your head because you're concentrating so hard not to fall over. So bring the hands back to prayer and then back hands onto your hips. Kick that left leg back, and so you can see me from the side. And then left hand comes behind and takes a hold of the inside of the ankle. And just keep the knees in alignment. And you can stay here, or you can take Chin Mudra on your right hand, taking your right hand up. And it's perfectly fine to stay here, or you can fold forward, kicking the leg back, looking forward, drishti, concentrate. Keep your gaze on one thing. And slowly coming back. Releasing the leg. Excellent. And then line the outer edges of the legs and outer edges of the feet with the mat and come into a squat, Balasana. If you find this too much, you can stay up here. So you don't have to come all the way down if you find that uncomfortable. If you can come all the way down, take prayer. If not, just staying in a squat. If you're struggling to get your heels down, you can always place a block underneath your heels. Excellent. And as you inhale, really push that breath down into your hips. Fantastic. And then from here, take the legs out in front. So we're going to take Dandasana. So legs out in front, as if you were standing. So keep your legs flexed as if you were standing on them. Fingers in pyramids, your kind of fingers, tips of your fingers, sitting up nice and tall, drawing the shoulder blades down the back. Excellent. And then from here, we're going to fold forward, hinging from the hips, coming forwards. And again, take the hands out, see where the hands get to, whether they get to your knees, your ankles, your feet. And with each inhalation, as you exhale, see if you can draw your belly button back towards your spine, but you're leading with your chest. So this is really, you can feel this in the lower back and in the backs of the legs. And then slowly coming up. Taking the right knee up and gently guiding the right knee to the side. So you might need to move some flesh around so that you're sitting onto your seat bones, sitting up nice and tall, so a seated tree. When you're ready, slowly folding forwards, taking your forehead towards the left knee. And again, see where your hands get to, ankle, calf, wherever. And just really allowing yourself to soften. So don't hold on to the breath. Deep inhale through the nose, deep exhale. And let gravity do the rest. So you tend to feel this one where you need it. Some people feel it in their hips. I always feel it in my lower back. Some people feel it in their legs, in their hamstrings. So I always think with this one, you get what you need from it. And when you're ready, slowly coming back up. Bring the knee back up. And take that right knee over the left leg. Hug the knee to your chest. Grow nice and tall. Take the right hand behind. Fingers point away from you. Try not to collapse into the shoulder. So nice and upright. Hugging the knee to the chest. Turn and look over that right shoulder. Another nice twist. And then coming back to the front. And straighten that leg. Left leg comes up. Gently guide that left knee away. And again, just moving flesh around so that you're sitting onto your seat bones. Sit nice and tall. And then hinging from the hips, leading with your chest. Forehead towards that right knee. Take the hands out in front and again, wherever the hands get to. So again, deep inhale, deep exhale, and then let gravity do the rest. So the head's very heavy. If you relax, you feel your head lower and you get a bit deeper into the posture. Inhale, look to your toes, and slowly coming up. Bringing that left knee back up, taking the left foot over the right leg, drawing the knee to the chest, sitting up nice and tall. And then left hand goes behind. And again, try not to collapse into that hand. So you're sitting nice and tall. Your hand's only there as a guide. So don't allow yourself to collapse into it. Take a deep breath in and imagine growing towards the ceiling before you turn and look over your left shoulder. And then coming back to the center. So soles of the feet are touching, letting the knees drop out to the side. And again, if you feel like your knees are too high, you could sit on a block. And then open up the soles of your feet as if you were reading a book and fold forwards, leading with your chest. Inhale, slowly coming back up. Excellent. And then placing the hands at the outer edges of the knees, draw your knees back together and give yourself a hug. So hugging around, dropping your forehead towards your knees. And then slowly coming up and lying onto your back for bridge. So lying onto your back and just place the fingers, tips of the fingers should just very lightly touch the backs of the heels. Then pigeon toe your toes ever so slightly. Draw your belly button down towards your spine and then slowly start to curl your spine off the mat. Squeezing your glutes. So lots going on here. We're working our legs, we're working our glutes. So the more you squeeze your glutes, the more you lift. We're also working Anahata Chakra, our heart center, opening up the chest. So you can wiggle your shoulder blades together as well and see if you can get a bit more lift. This is also great for thyroid, for the throat chakra. Brilliant. And then slowly lower. So again, keep drawing that belly button towards the spine as you slowly lower with control. Excellent. So we're going to do that again. So when you're ready, or rest, remember this is your class. So when you're ready, we're slowly going to lift up again. So keeping an eye on the knees. Knees need to stay in alignment with the hips. Don't let the knees drop out or let the knees touch. And then this time, see if you can wiggle your shoulder blades together and interlace your hands underneath you, keeping the little fingers in contact with the mat. Squeeze the glutes, get a bit more lift. If you're very comfortable, you can float the right leg up, but don't let the hips drop. And slowly coming down. Left leg floats up and slowly comes down. And then release the hands and slowly lower all the way back down. Clasp your knees to your chest, clasp your hands around your shins and rock from side to side. So we're going to take Happy Baby. Bring your hands between your knees, hands grabbing the outer edges of the feet. Show the soles of your feet to the ceiling, drawing your knees in towards your armpits, and then just rocking from side to side. So it's not the most elegant posture, but this is really good for digestion. So Deepika, see if you can show the soles of your feet to the ceiling as if you're trying to, that's it, that's better, brilliant. And then slowly release the hands, hug the knees to the chest one more time and rock from side to side. Spread the hands so that the palms are facing the ceiling. Take the right leg and wrap it around the left leg. So what's quite nice sometimes is to wrap it all the way around the calf, as if you were doing eagle. So that's quite nice. So wrapping it all the way around. Take a deep breath in, and on the exhale, just let the knees drop to the left side and turn your head to the right. So this is a really lovely stretch to release any tension in the lower back. And then bring your head back to the center, using your core, draw your knees back into place and release. Left leg wraps around the right. Or you can just cross the legs if you find that more comfortable, just cross the left over right. And then drop the knees to the right side and turn your head to the left. Bring your head back to the center and then use your core to draw your knees back into place. Hug your knees to your chest, take a deep breath in and exhale your forehead towards your knees. So this is really good for strengthening the spine. Really good way to strengthen the spine. And release. And then we're going to come into Shavasana. So spread your legs nice and wide. So you want the backs of your heels to find the outer edges of your mat. And then let their feet drop out to the side. Squeeze your shoulder blades together and then run them down the mat. A bit like how we started the class. So really run the shoulder blades down the mat, all the way down. Palms are spread, palms open facing the ceiling. And then closing your eyes. So allow the ground to take the full weight of your head. The ground comes up to meet you, taking the full weight of the head. Allow the ground to take the full weight of your neck, your shoulders, your arms and your hands. Allow the ground to take the full weight of your spine, your hips, your legs and your feet. You are fully supported. If thoughts float into your head, push them aside. You'll deal with them later. So just allow your breath, your mind to focus on your breath. Inhalation coming in through your nose. And the breath leaving your nose. Slowly start to bring awareness back into the body. Slowly start to wiggle the toes. Rotate the ankle. Slowly start to wiggle the fingers. Rotating the wrist. Roll your head, taking the right ear all the way down to the mat. Take a breath in and a nice loud sigh out. Bring the head back to the center and rotate the head, taking the left ear all the way down. Take a breath in and a nice loud sigh out. Bring the head back to the center. Bring the feet together. Bend the knees and hug the knees to your chest one last time. Rolling over onto your side. Slowly push yourself up. So we're going to close the class as we started in a seated position. Bring your hands together, rest your thumbs at your heart. Keeping your eyes closed. So we had a mantra, started the class with our Sata Nama mantra. So what that actually means, it means truth, my truth, reaffirming who you are, the essence of being you. It's a really lovely mantra to repeat. If you're ever stressed, it's a great way to kind of just switch your mind off and bring you back to the present moment. When you're ready, softly open your eyes. Thank you all so much for joining me this evening. As always, it's a pleasure to see you. Namaste.